I am of an opinion that people deliberately stress themselves out and put themselves into anxiety-inducing situations, even though like logically they might know that, you know, something's wrong here. I should not do this. I should like back off or something, or not participate in the situations ever again, or like maybe reduce them, but we still do them. And I think we do a lot of things that bring worry on ourselves. And I don't think that I will name all of them, because it would have to be a long video. And actually, I didn't think about this video this way, to just like structurally put you like the 10 most common reasons why people do that. I don't know what accent I just did. But yeah. I wanted to do something in a Scottish accent because I absolutely adore it. But let's not, because it's such a beautiful accent. No, honestly, jokes aside, I know some people find it hard. I find it fascinating. Yeah. Okay. So, actually, the reason why I even like consider talking about this topic is because I realized recently, basically a thing about me that you should know, just like FYI for the purpose of this video, is when I feel something deeply, or when I that sounded like from a book, when I feel something deeply, I go on into the world and I change things. No, not that. When I feel something deeply, or something worries me, or I do not understand something in a way, I write like an article or an essay. So the last video that I have on this channel was about why do we linger in our negative emotions, and I just like noticed that I do that when I'm negative, I like to linger in my negative emotions. As I said in that video, and I will say it again, I do not believe that there are such things as like negative emotions. Basically, if I do not understand something, or I'm just like drowning in something, I'm conflicted about something, I will write about it. And about this particular point that I'm going to mention right now, I started writing about it, but haven't really finished the thought exactly. But the thing is, a couple of weeks ago, I understood that I'm drowning so much in all the news that are in the world. And I started thinking, like, why? You know, I mean, I've been... it's not like the first time I ever opened news or something. I'm from Ukraine. I still live in Ukraine, so I don't really have to go to news to see what is going on or something, or, you know, I could just like, yeah, let's not mention that. But so it's not new for me, all these horrible things that are going on in the world, because they've been going on in my country for a long time. And I just really started checking news more often, but not like news that are in Ukraine. I knew the things are bad and that they, you know, just bad. But the fact that so many other bad things, suddenly I ran out of adjectives, like other horrible things that are going on in the world. And it started increasing my level of anxiety the same way it had when the war first started in Ukraine. And I would like, I don't know, obsessively check the news, the updates, what is going on, what is happening, what is this. And I would wake up in the morning and I would check news. When I would have free time, I would check like what's something else, you know. And the thing is, people don't write happy news. So there is no one like writing, I don't know, let's actually see happy news that happened recently. I have kind of came across an article, but like a post on Instagram that mentioned happy news that happened recently. Okay, I don't think I'll find it because... Okay, happened this week. Let's do happened this week. Good News Network. Good news, inspiring, positive stories. The #1 source. Okay, so 19 cities, including London, San Francisco, Hong Kong, achieve remarkable reduction in air pollution. Woman's viral video of elderly DoorDash driver channels 1 million to help him retire. That's actually very cute. 660 square miles of critical biodiverse forest now protected in Bolivia. It's amazing, yeah. Japan's yogurt delivery ladies serve as a support net for aging population. elderly father and son feast on free oysters after cashing in on decade-old restaurant promise. That's fun. Waitress has fed 270,000 meals to homeless Floridians thanks to a family that gives their all. Wow, and so many other, and so many other. There are, a lot of good news going on in the world, but when I don't know, maybe I came across those articles, not like articles, but like posts on Instagram, maybe like 2 times, 3 times, and I'm like, wow, it's so good. And then I told one of my close friends that how anxious I am, like honestly how anxious I am, and how it worsens my mood that I cannot do anything to in this, and I feel this injustice or anger and worry and all this mix of emotions that I do not want to feel because I cannot do anything. There's nothing I can do. Zero. Like, oh. I was trying to remember the different ways to say zero in English. Yeah. And he was like, then delete all these channels. Don't look at them. Don't just like delete the applications, delete the channels, and I was like, no, but I might need it. I'm like an addict. I'm like, no. But it makes it's better to have information than have zero information. That's better to do this, and I just started in my head to come up with all this, like, why should I keep it? Because I was too tired to actually say it out loud. And when he first offered me this, I'm like, you're crazy. It's like tell people who have anxiety because of social media to delete social media. No, you might actually need it. You might want to, connect with your classmates or this, And then I'm like, no, I'm fed up. I'm gonna delete all of them. Newsflash, I deleted like only one. Maybe for a time, maybe for like 3 days, all of them. But I still got some news, but then I just rejoined the group that I deleted, and yeah. And I'm not checking it as obsessively as I did before. And while I was in the state of a great anxiety, I wrote this piece, and I think the reason why, like one of the reasons why we're so stressed right now as a society and the people overall, is because 100 years ago, for example, you did not know what it was going on in the world, what was going on another continent where you will never be to, or like another part of the world or another country. You just knew what was going on inside your village, what was going on with people, with your like neighbors, with your family, with your kids, people around you. You just knew that, and that was all. You did not know that somewhere 10,000 kilometers away from you something bad has happened. No, you had no idea about that. And sure, there are some great, amazing things that come from that we have this information like before that, that people can track where there will be like a tsunami or earthquake or something, and that we're protected, like nations worldwide are protected. But other than that, I think it does more harm than good, because news are... When was the last time you watched TV or watched like news on YouTube or something that are positive? They do not include anything. Maybe just like something very, very amazing, very surprising that you would be just like, wow, it's so amazing, wow, but no one includes like these things that I just read to you, or maybe like very, very rarely. And why? Because news and all this information is made for you to... How do people spread news? They, word for word, they send it to someone, they cannot only rely on people who will be watching it, because it's like with TV shows and movies, it has to be so good and so entertaining that you like say to your friend, oh my god, Gilmore Girls is the best TV show ever, and your friend is like, yeah, whatever, and then they start watching and they're like, oh yeah man, why haven't you told me this before, and no one goes on like internet and searches for news to watch, like, you know, TV shows to watch. So it actually mostly from word to word, from mouth to mouth, and you just tell your friends that, oh, have you heard this, have you heard this, have you heard this, or your family just sends link in a family group, and that's how people spread the news. And do you actually talk about news that are just like mediocre, that, oh, something happened, something bad that usually happens? No, most news, if you could see, they are made to make you feel a very strong emotion. And because you feel that strong emotion, that is how you tell other people about that news. So this event that happened should make you feel very angry, very annoyed. It should make you feel like injustice or very big surprise. Also, it could be in a positive way, but it should make you feel a strong emotion. And emotions, and the strongest emotions that stay with us are negative emotions, like anger, annoyance, sadness, frustration, and so on and so forth. And that is how we say to our friend, have you seen this? Have you seen this? What they have done? It's so unfair. Like, why would people do that? Because you already in your head, you have the strong emotion that you felt toward that news that you consumed, and then you just like, it's so insane. I cannot wrap my mind around it. How cuckoo it is. And I have to tell someone about it. Or it just stays with you even if you don't tell anyone about it. But you know, if you will see that someone, I don't know, as I've read before, that some family went to, I don't remember, but this, and you wouldn't talk to your friends about that? Because I think on positive news, we look at it as a, like, it's for granted. Like, it's life. Of course, good things should happen, you know. Of course, that is a good thing. I don't really care. That's a good thing, you know. But people who are making news and you know, are kind of behind that, they're like millions of dollars, if not like billions, put into strategy how to say it for you to just grab your attention, to make you feel angry for a very long time and feel this injustice, to tell all your friends about this injustice, to level up that channel or that news statement or something. So we are being used by our reactions, and we are being forced to react a certain way. That is fine, because it happens everywhere. It happens when you're buying a car, someone also manipulates you in a way and you know, wants to sell you something. When, for example, I don't know, personalized ads, it's also, everything is thought of to kind of use you in a way that that person wants to use you, whether it's through news and to just tell other people how offended you are, how angry you are, or to, for example, buy that car because, well, that salesman is such a cool guy, I don't really want to say no to him, so, you know, I'll tell yes. Personalized ads, it's it's more to do with like internet, but also people behind that, and the psychology of the fact that you cannot get off your reels. It's also, everything was made to distract you, everything was made for that entire purpose, to kind of like get you to do something that those people want you to do. And that is fine. That is fine, because that's how people make money. And yeah, maybe someone would agree that it's like morally it's not good, that it's not fair, or any other of these things. But I think the fact that we have access to this information, and, you know, online you can just look this information up, the psychologists on YouTube talk about it, and, you know, how to get rid of it, it's totally fine. But one of the reasons why I felt so anxious is because all news are negative. I wasn't reading something that was like, oh, pandas are well now, they are safe, they are not, you know, or like polar bears are not drowning, the ice has already frozen back, it's not melting anymore. No. I read actually the opposite, and about the world and about the animals and about how we're just destroying Earth or something. How a monkey who, like the only monkey in the world who could do sign language said in sign language that protect Earth, you are damaging Earth, and he died, and he left this message, or it left this message, because in English it's more like to say eat, because I don't remember the state of that animal. Yeah. Okay, now, so you are a little closer now. So that's one of the reasons also. I think those were the main things that I was yapping about in that thing that I was writing. Actually, I wasn't technically writing it because I was just like voice overing it. But yeah, I don't know why, but in that way, my thoughts become more, I don't know, structured. I don't know why. Yeah, as I said, there's nothing useful in you knowing what is going on the other side of the world. I think that's why people were so much more in peace a couple of decades ago, because they had their own tribe and they only knew the things that have been doing in their tribe and their tribe only. And I think consuming all this information, being aware of this holds a negative, aware of all negative things that are going in the world is like a mega ultra health check, or is doing a health check, because there's 100% that there is something wrong. One or other aspect of your health isn't really mean that it's going to be largely influenced or something, but you still have it, because we're not perfect and our bodies are flawed and we age with each day more and more and more. So it's understandably to come to the conclusion that a health will not be 100% perfect, and I think that is the reason why I watch health checkups. Actually, it's true, although I've been 2 times in the hospital today, so yeah, who knew? So it is so overwhelming knowing what's wrong. I'm trying to fix it, but knowing that overall it will just come to an end, and how much you wouldn't want to fix it, it will all just come to an end the last few seconds. The few sentences were bad. I just like, I said these things also, like the last were bad. Okay, yeah, they were, I wouldn't say they're bad, it's like an interesting idea, but far off from something that I would want to, yeah. So, I'm pouring myself a glass of water, just in case you were wondering. I think the last 2 points I kind of came up today with when I was thinking about this topic, and it's that we overestimate ourselves, meaning that we think about ourselves too much. We put so much value on ourselves. We think that everyone is always looking at us, that everyone is just like always judging us, that if you didn't wash your hair, everyone will notice. If you have a pimple, everyone will notice, and that you're not as perfect, and all these things. And we just overestimate ourselves so much, and with that overestimation comes these expectations that we have from ourselves as well, and it's just a very closed circle that just doesn't really help you. I should really stop touching my face. Yeah, and it's something that doesn't really help you, because I think so much ego comes with I've been thinking about that recently, that when I look good, I become more egoistic. Like right now, I think, and I like how I look like, mostly because a baseball cap covers most of my face. No. That was a self-destructive joke. It's okay. I like joking like that. I like how I look like. Like when I smile, I also like how I look like. And that prompts me to be more egoistical. Because I think like, well, I look so good. Why, I not as self-conscious. I'm self-conscious, but like I'm not as self-insecure as I could be, and I just could walk on the street and be like, oh, okay, I'm so good. I'm better than some people. It doesn't really always happen, but like sometimes I could be like, oh, I'm better than this person, like once a week, to think that when I feel good, and I'm like, no, I should not feel this way, and when I just like look, I don't know, I maybe not in the way that I have expectation for myself to look like when I have few pimples or something, and I compare to someone else and they're like not don't have any pimples, and I'm just like, wow, why is that happening? Why, I don't radiate that egoistical self-confidence. I don't think that I'm better than someone else. You know, so in a way, I do really like when I do not look perfect, because it makes me less of a narcissist, you know, because then I do not really think about my appearance. I try not to look in the mirror because I know that I will find something that I don't like. But when I know that I look good, I look in the mirror always. When I'm passing like a store, I'm always looking in the mirror. I'm always doing this and this and this and this, So that's why. That's yeah. So it's actually a very good thing not to think about yourself too much, because people a couple hundred years ago or a couple decades ago didn't even have this I don't know, access to viewing how they look like constantly. They maybe had mirrors, they didn't have phones that they can look into. Maybe they carried mirrors with themselves, I don't know. But the level of overestimations of overestimation of ourselves that we have now is so bad. Because what do you mean I cannot just look like go somewhere and look at the nature? I need to look at myself each time I'm passing in like a window. What is that? It's like I'm idolizing a version of myself, or how I look like, or how I'm dressed, which is, maybe it's normal, but in my mind it's so insane that I do that I do not enjoy the life itself, or like the surroundings itself. I just like focus entirely on myself. Like, oh, I like how these jeans look like, or I like this cap, or like how I mix this old style. It's so amazing. And my hair looks amazing today. And I rely so much on how I look like for it to be my self-esteem, that when I don't, then when I look, I don't know, maybe funny, maybe not in the way that I looked a couple of days ago, or I don't know, my stomach is bloated, and then I need to go to the beach or something, and suddenly I don't like myself. Suddenly my self-esteem is like decreased to the level of how I look like, which is the shallowest thing anyone could do. Like, it's like choosing a partner based on looks. And hey, everyone can do whatever they want. I I agree that how your partner looks kind of it's a large role, especially in the age of dating websites. You just because there's nothing else to go on. You see someone, you see their name, and you just like match or not match. You feel the spark or you don't feel the spark. And it's impossible to feel the spark. You're like, okay, you look cute, rarely do people just actually read the whole. I don't even know if there's like a possibility for you to read like their answers to some, their interest or something. It's their face. And I think that's also one of the contributing reasons why we feel this way and why we act this way, is because of this. And it's even scientifically proven that you kind of get used to how your partner looks like. And I actually talked about this with my boyfriend, and for him, looks are important. I mean, much more important than to me. And I just told him also, I think it's like the shallowest thing you can think about. How is it? Because you can have age. A person could have a cancer and they will lose or all their beauty that you thought that they had. If you cannot fall in love with like inner sides of the person, you're just falling off with the picture. Because it's like this Pinterest quote I saw, that women when they marry hope that their husband will change, and husbands think that hope that woman will never change, like look appearance wise. It's not a word. Sorry. Yeah. And wife, they think that they can change a person, marrying to someone who you think you can change. So basically that's the entirety of it. And I think if we would focus much more on our insides rather than how we look like, it would be much better and much more beneficial. It wouldn't bring these unnecessary expectations that we have on ourselves. It wouldn't. Like, if I'm okay with who I am on the inside, I don't really care who about what at the age that I am right now, or who looks how, or what is going on, or I'm just satisfied with who I am, and it doesn't really matter. And no amount of compliments or praises or achievements will make me feel better or worse. I'm just satisfied with who I am, and even if I lose everything that I ever worked on, I still will be okay with who I am, because I'm a good, decent person who doesn't do crap to people, who smiles at them, who tries to be kind, who helps people, and I'm just, I'm doing my best, and that would be beneficial to all of us in general, but I don't even know how to do that. Partly I do that. I think I'm like 50-50. Sometimes I depend on that. Sometimes I depend on that. When I'm in a bad mood, I cannot really depend on who I am on the inside, because I'm like, you are a horrible person. You are rotten apple, or like a rotten fruit that, like, I don't know, it's just a glimpse of my thoughts, and I cannot be kind to myself in that moment. But when I'm in a good mood and I just don't look as I would want to, or something like this, I'm like, so be it. I know that my soul is beautiful. I know that I am a very amazing person on the inside, and it doesn't really matter how I look like. Yeah. And the third one is that when we don't have any serious or important or just like problems overall, when we don't have problems, we tend to create them. So if you don't have life-threatening problems, also, I think I saved like a quote from Pinterest. It's a privilege to live in constant existential crisis. It basically means everything else is taken care of, and the only thing left to worry about is the condition of your soul. Yeah. And I think it's true. I don't remember a time in my life when I didn't have problems. When I was in middle school, I worried about that crush, or about my grades, or about someone who has better shirt than I do, or like a sweatshirt that I really wanted. We tend to create our problems for ourselves. It doesn't really matter on the age. It doesn't depend on how old are we. I think our problems kind of escalate. The creation of our problems kind of escalates with age, because we, as with everything, become better at it. At 6, I could barely tie my own shoes. Right now, I can also barely tie my own shoes, but like quicker. So yeah, and we just kind of become better. We are becoming better at things, and with creating our own problems also, and we becoming better at tricking our brain into thinking that it's something serious that we should actually reminisce about, and put ourselves in a sad mood, and just kind of think about how life isn't fair, and that it's very hard, and that it's stressful. It's just like, I don't know. I don't know, dude. What should I do? So I think it's one of the reasons also. Do I have any tips whatsoever how to stop doing that? Not really, because I think it would be part of your life regardless. If I maybe I should, like, I could Google it, and there would be like an answer to that for sure. It would be like an answer for that 100%. How to stop creating problems for yourself. How to stop creaking floorboards under the carpet. How to stop creeps from spawning. How to creepers. What? What does it mean? Like creeps, like a person who's like a creep, or creepers, like a crepe, like a French dish, kind of. Okay. Focus on the present moment through mindful label. You're thinking. Focus on the present moment through mindfulness. Label your overthinking and take action to tackle fears rather than ruminating on them. Practice mindfulness and grounding. Name it and tame it. Journal your thoughts. Schedule worry window. Take action over. Analyze. Use distractions. And honestly, I think I've done all these things, but problems never went away. They just weren't as big or as huge or something. They just decreased in their way. But I don't think they will ever go away. You can just like control. You're just like, okay, you know what? girl, you're just making up problems for yourself. You just like calm down a little bit. And yeah, thank God that you don't have any real problems to worry about, that you have roof over your head, you have food to eat, your health is good, you don't really have any health problems, everything is good, you know, all the things are taken care of. So thank Jesus for that, and go live your life, read a book, create something, tell someone that they are amazing, and yeah, just lighten up a little bit. So I think that's all I wanted to talk about in this video. I'm just like looking that way because that is where my notes are. And I'm actually checking whether I'm still recording, because sometimes my microphone just likes to stop recording, or my notebook, or my, it's not a notebook, it's a laptop. Okay, first lesson in Ukrainian. Laptop in Ukrainian is like a notebook. It's actually a notebook, but more like a notebook. Yeah, so it's laptop in Ukrainian, just if you wanted a fun fact. Yeah, okay, so have a great morning, lunch time, afternoon, evening, night. Have a great week, and I'll see you soon, hopefully. Yeah, in the end of these videos, I like to give you a hug as a goodbye. So if you're not a very touchy person, you don't like to be hugged, just you know, close the video right now and just like let's stop. But if you're still here, bye.